am a slave.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Irish Muslim. This is my very first sister that I've managed to get actually agreed to come onto my lives, to my interviews. The problem being is we've had a couple of missteps. I had a camera breakdown. The sister was not happy about that. She made her look absolutely stunning at that time, and I had to break the news. It was not a good situation to be in, as I'm getting barrels from her and the other sisters about not having a sister on my interviews. And I've put off other sisters who have come up to her first deliberately so I can have Danielle on first. So slowly, if you wouldn't mind doing your introduction, sister, please be my guest.
So, my real name is Gwendolyn, but most know me as Sister Dania because that's my Muslim name. I reverted 29 October 2020, so that's a year and a half ago, about now. I'm a Belgian revert, so that's about it,
Alhamdulillah for Belgian revert. So, my sister, I'm going to go with the basic questions because I like to keep them clear and simple. So my first one is really boring. Why or did you explore Islam before reverting, and what was your primary motive?
Before Islam, how my life was before?
No. I was asking what did you explore Islam, as in were you paying attention to it beforehand?
Definitely. I had a lot of Muslim friends, so and my history, I was, well, not really born. I was raised Catholic. I even went to Catholic school till I was 18.
I was a Catholic missionary.
But it never really clicked with me. If you would read the Bible, and the Bible clearly says you cannot have statues, and your church is filled with statues. You're okay, something's not adding up here, So it never really clicked.
It's too easy for me to bash the Catholic Church, so I don't do it. It really is too easy, so I don't.
So yeah, so even in my teenage years, even when I was still going to school, for me, I just went there because my parents sent me there. My mother actually, because my dad's atheist. So actually in my teenage year, I became not really atheist. I would more say agnostic. I still believe there was something, but I didn't really know what,
Absolutely.
And after that, I got a lot of Muslim friends, and I would go to their houses, and they would never talk to me directly about Islam. They would never, but amongst each other, I could hear them talk, and the things they would say about Prophet Jesus, it would make sense to me. Oh, wow, okay,
absolutely.
That's more how I see it,
Excellent.
So, and then I started looking into Islam, and and I had a pretty traumatic past, and then I had a breakdown a few years ago, and then I read the Quran, and yeah, for me it was an eye opener, and I was yeah, this is actually really what I believe, and yeah,
So my second question, sister, how long have you been Muslim? I know it's boring, but everyone asks.
Well, yeah, like I said, I reverted 29 October 2020, so it's about a year and a few months now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
A year and a few months. For me, it's just a little over a year. It was December 20. No, has it been? Wow, it has been a lot longer than I think it is. Do you study under an Islamic sheikh, or are you self-taught?
I'm mostly self-taught. I do have the Islamic center where I reverted, and we can take lessons there, but it's not really near me, so it's difficult for me to get there, and it's mostly on Friday evenings and stuff like that. But excuse me, I work in shifts, so for me it's not easy to get there always.
I mean, I'm very far from my local masjid. Cardiff's closer to me in terms of border of where I am in England to Gloucester City.
Most things I learn is from videos or reading a lot of books, and if I have questions, luckily now on TikTok we have sheikhs who we can ask questions to, and
social
you
media is a
know?
beautiful thing, but it's also cursed, and I think it needs to be
Yeah, like
taken
you
very.
have
You have to take
both
it at arm's
sides of
length
the
in some
coin,
ways.
you know? Like it can be a blessing, but it can be a
Absolutely.
curse, like
And
you
if
said.
anybody's wondering, again, this is another sister I met on TikTok. The social media platform is enormous and it's very, very popular amongst the Muslim community. Question number 4. Have you studied under no, question number 4. Have you explored a creed and as of yet or do you intend to if not? Creed as
Can you
in
say that again? Like
creed
your
as in
voice.
Salifa, Deobandi
Oh yeah, I have explored it. Like, but for me, like I don't really want to put myself onto a category, you know? Like
very
for me,
similar
I'm just
sister.
Muslim, you know? Like um
Yeah,
and there's things I see like with Salafi or Hanafi, like I agree with some of that or some of that or some of
yeah.
that, but like
It,
to
it,
put
it,
me like
seem,
in
it,
a
it tends to be
category,
sorry, it tends to be a trend amongst us reverts that we don't tend to
yeah.
take to
But
creeds.
I don't really want to do that. Like for me, I'm just Muslim. That's it. Like I follow
Alhamdulillah.
the Sunnah and that's it. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, definitely, definitely.
like
Ah,
I don't really want to put myself under
well,
any category or.
this was one of my favourite questions. How was your first Ramadan, and how is fasting nowadays?
Oh yes, like for me, because I have a kidney disease. Like
Astaghfirullah.
I'm yeah, I'm not really allowed to. I did participate in the eating part. Like I did not eat like from even though I like I am excused from the fasting, but I did want to do that. Like, you know,
But you
I can
didn't.
do it,
Yeah, no,
but I
no.
can't like because here in Belgium, like it is a long time between, to
Mm.
fast.
No, I know it is
So
the
I
same.
can't
The same in Britain. It can
my
be up to 18
kidney like
hours.
that long without water. It
Mm.
it, it wouldn't
Mm.
like that's totally not okay. So I have to drink like every hour. I have to drink like some sips of water, unfortunately.
If it's
So
permissible, sister, it's permissible. Alhamdulillah.
yeah,
I mean, the fact that you're
but
trying
like for
is by
myself, I still do the eating part just because I know I can and I want to do it like also like for my fellow Muslims, like when I work with them,
Alhamdulillah.
like it's out of respect and
Oh, of course,
because
absolutely,
I know I can do it. So
absolutely.
I did like do the not eating and I still do that now. And like in the winter when I have shorter days, I do like the normal fasting because then it's easier.
Sunnah,
Like
yeah.
it's
Mondays
just
and
a few
Thursdays,
hours, so
yeah.
then it's okay. I don't drink, you know? So like when Ramadan will fall in the winter, I can do like the normal
Fantastic,
Ramadan, you know?
fantastic. What are your goals Islamically in 5 years?
My roles. Ooh.
No, goals, sister,
Islamically,
goals.
I just hope like to find more knowledge, because I think as a Muslim you always want to gain more knowledge. And you always think like, you always find more things and you always, like I think that's the most important thing, just to learn more. Like I have books, like man, I have so many books that I think like, oh,
I
I
think
need to
that's the
stop
nature
buying
of
books. It's crazy.
Muslims are very much read people. We are one of the last generations. Instead of everyone's like on their phones all the time, we are a people of reading.
But
Books
no,
and
then
knowledge
then
is
then I hear
alhamdulillah.
somebody talk about a book, and then I'm like, oh, I have to get that book, and then I'm like, I need to stop buying books because
No, that's
I
a
don't
good thing,
even
sister.
find the time to read
Alhamdulillah,
them anymore. Like
it's a
it's
good thing.
crazy.
Which would you prefer, to memorize the Quran or learn fiqh or both?
I think really memorize the Quran because I think fiqh would be too
I
much.
would, in my life, I hope to do both. I'd like to learn Islamic law as well, Shira, as well as memorize the Quran. I hope. I don't know if I'll ever achieve it, but it's one of my
I
dreams to
think
do,
there's
definitely.
so much in Islamic law, like ooh.
Mm, mm.
But yeah, memorizing the Quran, that's something I would definitely like.
You don't
Oh,
need to answer my next
inshallah.
question, sister, but if it's too difficult to do so. How did your family react, if you don't mind saying?
No, I don't mind. Allah. Unfortunately, I did lose like friends and family
Mm.
members over this. I actually had no contact with my dad for a long time, but like just before Christmas, we made contact again, and everything is going good now. So,
Alhamdulillah.
give things time. And when they see like, that because my dad thought it was like I don't know, maybe a wimp, I don't know, like because I truly went from, like I said, like from believing in his eyes nothing to all of a sudden becoming Muslim. So for him, it was very
Yeah, no,
difficult. Like,
the family take
how
that.
did this happen? You
Yeah,
know?
family tends to
But
take that rather better, and that is such
yeah,
slow build. I mean, for me, it was 10 years travelling across Africa, then questions, then more questions, and then eventually the ice broke, kind of thing. So yeah, I completely understand that family can be very difficult building.
yeah. But look, like me and my dad now, everything is okay again. And like my mother's side is gypsy, so they're very Catholic, and like unfortunately, like a lot of them like don't understand, and they have cut me off. Not
Mm.
all of them, like, but a lot of them. And
Mm.
it's their choice, and at the end, it's also my choice. Like I
Alhamdulillah.
have to look at myself, you know.
Yeah, no, completely.
So it is what it is.
What mistakes would you advise new Muslims to avoid as they explore Islam, in your own opinion?
Ooh, avoid. Ah, do not listen to all these born Muslims who say like, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that.
No comments. No comments.
Just do everything at your own
Pace.
pace, like
Absolutely.
truly,
Yeah. No, that
like
is beautiful
step
advice, sister.
by step. Like don't think because you revert, like you have to start praying today 5 times, like like start with one prayer, and if you feel ready for it, go to the next. Like
This
just take it step by step, and
absolutely.
because and if you're especially like as a Muslim revert, as a woman, like don't start wearing the hijab tomorrow if you don't feel ready for it,
I was.
like
Thank you, sister. Because that is my female question. I was literally about to ask that one. If you don't mind talking about the hijab, please do.
yeah,
I'm
do it
happy
at
that
your
you
own
jumped the gun
pace.
on that
Like I
one.
remember, like in the beginning, I thought like, maybe I will never wear the hijab. And look at me now, like because I did it at my own pace. Like I started wearing like first I started wearing these headbands, and then I started wearing turbans, and then I went over to hijab, and now I would not take it off like ever again because it empowers me. But
Mm,
because like I had so many born Muslims like like coming at me like, oh, that just put me off more. Like they have to like
Yeah, no,
realize like the
that's
harder you push somebody, like it has
absolutely.
the opposite effect,
And I genuinely
I,
think that the Muslim community at large has a lot to learn on being more quieter towards reverts as they transition from Western Kafir society to Islamic society. There is a transition period, and there is no fixed point one way or another for that, left or right. It could take some of our sisters, alhamdulillah, amazing women, can take it in a couple of months. Some take years, and whatever that time period is, they should be given the chance to do that. They are not born or raised in Muslim communities, and I think it's a very important point for you to hold there, sister. Thank you very much. What is or was the hardest part of about Islam for you to adjust to as you reverted?
hmm must think about that because I think a lot of things were already like not drinking alcohol. I already was not drinking alcohol for years, like before I reverted, so that was not a big change for me. I
Great,
think
great.
maybe like some of the things like I can't eat anymore. Like not that I really ate a lot of pork, but like I had this tradition with my grandfather that we ate like yeah I don't really know it how you call it in English, but it was like sausage they just made out of blood, like I don't really know how you call it, and you would bake it and you would eat it, but yeah, of course we cannot eat that anymore. But it's not really that I miss eating it, like
You
the
miss the
meat,
tradition
or
that goes
like
around it.
it's
Yeah,
like more the
yeah.
because
The
my,
Irish
my,
have.
my grandfather was important for me, and like I think
Mm.
that's the only thing. But otherwise there was not really. Yeah, of course, yeah. If you go from never praying to then have to pray and do things like that, and of course it's adjusting, but it enriches your life,
Absolutely.
like
Alhamdulillah, it does.
it's not really, yeah, it's something you grow into. So I wouldn't say that yeah, it was not
Absolutely.
difficult. It was just, but like I said, like do it step by step. Like don't force, like don't go like, ooh, I have to do it all in once because otherwise you will go ooh and think like I cannot do this. Like no, 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 no.
What
Just
advice?
one step at a time.
What advice would you give the wider online Muslim community when dealing with reverts in your own experiences?
Like I said before, like stop telling us from day one, like, oh, you should do this and you should do this. And I hate the tattoo thing. Like, you have tattoos, astaghfirullah. Like, yeah, man, I have tattoos. No, they're not going off. Sorry. Like,
I
it is what
deliberately
it
cover
is.
most of mine. I do have them when I cover them. I'm very picky, very careful about covering one on my arm, one on my back, and I don't expose my tattoos. And I think that's an important point for male. There are quite a lot of male reverts who wear their tattoos openly, and some of them they can't avoid, but some of them they should try to. And I think that's an important point that should be done. That you shouldn't express your sins even if you're not going to get them removed. And alhamdulillah, sister, you do it anyway because you are very modest in the
Yeah.
way you dress, and that's very very beautiful, relatively speaking. How do you deal with low imam?
I must say, like, when I have low imam, I love to be like, I just go in myself. Like, I love to just like I said, like we just spoke about TikTok before. Like, I just like to take a break of everything, like social media, stuff like that, and just go back, like just me and Allah, just me and our Creator, and that's how
Alhamdulillah,
I deal with it.
alhamdulillah.
Just talking to him, praying, and that is how I work on that, because he's the one who made all this, who created us. And
Hmm.
if I'm low on iman, like I just talk to him and pray to him and ask, like, yeah, I think that's the best way you can do it. Like, just go be with him alone.
Absolutely. How long did you wait before taking your shahada, and was your family a detrimental effect to why you did or did not take it earlier?
Oh, how long did I wait? I think because it was kind of weird, like, because when I told my best friend I was going to take my shahada, she was like, well, that took you a long time. Like, I think she, like, I was thinking about it, like, before I was, like, and I was like, why did you say this? And she was like, come on, like, every time somebody said something about Islam, like, you would get so offended, like they were attacking you personally. Like, I saw this
You were
coming a
Muslim
long
before you
time
knew you were
ago.
Muslim. I had that effect. I had that effect. I completely reflect that.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I never really, I think unconsciously, like I was like really thinking about it like a lot, no? Like I was even in pages like on Facebook, like with reverts and stuff like that, and never really interacted, but reading and um, but then when yeah, I must say like a few years, yeah, and then I did take the step, and my family, I think it had to do a little bit with it,
Yeah.
like what will they say, what will they think, and but like I said, when I had that breakdown, it was like, you know what, I have lived my life so many years for others, like I
Time for me
just
to live
have
for
to
Allah.
think about
Absolutely.
myself now, you
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. How long did it take for you to feel a part of the Ummah as a whole?
I must say, like, that went pretty fast. Like once I reverted,
Mm.
like you said, like you have, unfortunately, you will always have the Muslims who are kind of against you, like, and then you have the ones who are very like welcoming and uh, so that was pretty good, I think. And I think like we have this little community also, like reverts,
Mm.
so it makes you feel
Yeah.
good and safe, because like,
You're not
wow, and
alone.
it
You're
keeps
not alone.
growing and growing. And alhamdulillah, for me it was so amazing because I saw, like, yeah, and they all had kind of the same story, and so yeah, I felt appreciated, and sometimes rejected at the same time, like I said, like
You do get
the
it. You do get it.
yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I've had it. I've had it more than once.
Yeah.
What do you do when some old haram habits pop up so you don't fall back into sin?
Ooh, I must say I don't really. like I said,
It's
like
not
I
an
didn't
easy
drink
conversation because I
alcohol
mean, for
like
me, I
for,
avoid burger stalls because I've always. But I'm Irish, so we have a big thing about Irish food has a lot of pig meat in it, and I was raised on it. So as such, for me, I have to steer clear of any of the kind of like so because the smell makes me salivate. And I know many Muslims think that's stuff for Allah, disgusting, but when you're from Ireland, big breakfasts and bacon and sausages, they're normal things. So for me, I steer clear. Drinking has never been an issue. Stuff for a lot, couldn't care less about it. But from a breakfast point of view, I have to steer clear of like big kind of like you know the type of talking about the burger vans.
yeah, yeah.
You have to steer clear of them because the smell. I'm like
For me, I must say, like, because I didn't really like bacon before, so for me that's easy.
yeah, no,
Uh,
probably is easier for you.
yeah, but like, yeah, of course, but like when we have like family gathering, like gypsy gatherings, I'm like, woo, like, um, so it is sometimes difficult because yeah, you have all this amazing food, and like you can't eat it, because it's not halal, it is like difficult sometimes, but. Yeah, you just have to put your mindset on it. Like if I eat like one plate of that, like is it worth it? Like no, it's
Yeah,
not.
no, of
You
course not.
know?
Do you, as a revert, feel you live a double life when around your non-Muslim family members?
No, I don't think so. I think revert or not, like I think we're all Muslim. Like it's just the same. Like it doesn't matter if you
No, no,
were
no. I
born a
mean,
Muslim.
do you feel like you live a double life when you're around your non-Muslim family members?
No, I
No?
think I'm
Okay.
I- I'm I'm
Alhamdulillah.
exactly the same around my like around Muslim friends or with my regular friends
Okay,
or with
okay.
my family now, because they know I'm Muslim. Like
Yeah,
they like
some reverts have difficulty with the transition between the two worlds, so that's why I asked the question.
No, because like even like my friends know now, like my male friends, they never come in alone anymore because they know like it's not allowed in Islam. And I need to wear the hijab when they see
Mm,
me.
mm.
So, and before, like for them it was kind of weird because they were like, why? Like we have seen your hair, like what? Like it's not like we don't know, like you what?
It's for
But
Allah's sake, no
they
one else's.
respect it,
Yeah,
like
it's good.
they will let like the girl come in first and be like, okay, we're here, like can you put, so and luckily like they're all very, like even my nephews, like because I they know I have to cover my hair, like they will cut, like they will knock at the door and be like, we're here, so they know I can cover my hair, so yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
it all
It's
goes
good.
well.
It's good. Do you feel burdened or pressured to set a better example than born Muslims?
Hmm. I wouldn't say pressured or burned, but sometimes, yeah, maybe, yeah. Because, like I said, like some, unfortunately, it's hard saying this, but some born Muslims do look down on reverts, Like, most, like, not, like, I wouldn't say like 50-50. I would say like 20-80, like, because most,
The Muslims that I've seen that look down upon us are more cultural Muslims than actual religious Muslims.
yeah,
I've never met a
like,
religious Muslim who's ever mistreated reverts or myself. Anybody who's read the Quran, knows the Hadith. They are unbelievably
exactly,
100% welcoming. People who are just
exactly.
raised in what is culturally Muslim households, they tend to be a little more unaware of the situation, so they can be sometimes a bit prejudiced about it. So I don't necessarily. This isn't religious Muslims. I've never had a problem with people who are just cultural
No,
Muslim. They occasionally have had issues.
no, no. Like truly, like so. I get these stupid comments under my videos sometimes, like, oh, you're not Arabic, so you're not a real Muslim.
They're
Like,
probably not Muslim,
did you
sister. Uh,
Quran? Like what? Like,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
Christianity originates from the Middle East. Islam, Judaism, they all come from the same area. They're all from the Levant. And
Exactly.
people, I don't understand these people who say, "Oh,
So
that's not
they
a white
clearly,
man's religion." What? What are you on? None of
yeah,
the Abrahamic
they
faiths
don't know
come from
what
the
they're
white
talking
man.
about. So sometimes, yeah, and then when you like put the Quran verses like to them, like you clearly don't know what you're talking about, and like so sometimes, yeah, you have to like you don't even have to show like it's you know more than them, like, and it's not like saying like I'm better, like, because I don't see myself better than anybody, like
Yeah, no, of
astaghfirullah, I
course
would
not.
never,
Of course not.
but yeah, like sometimes you need to educate them because it's like you said, like for it's sometimes it's cultural, like
Yeah,
they don't know
absolutely.
any better, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
Why do you think reverts don't marry other reverts?
Hmm. Never really thought about that actually.
Because a
I
lot
think
of
maybe it's because like um I would not have a problem marrying another revert. I don't know.
it seems to be that there are a lot of reverts who don't marry amongst other reverts. That it's generally because of the cultural shift I've seen in my own observations. As a historian, you tend to observe a lot. It's the nature of being a historian in general. But we tend to observe that the reverts as a collective group, we're an eclectical group, to be quite correct. We're not all from one central background either. So we tend to adopt a great deal of the Muslim families that come from. This is ties into my second question, my next question. Why do you think reverts adopt their born Muslim families' cultures instead of their own?
I think because in our own, like we don't have, the
Strong religious values in
the
most Western
standards
cultures. Yeah.
of the Islamic ways, and
Mm.
like even like the cooking,
Yeah.
like it's
I
totally
love.
different.
I love. I'm a big fan of Pakistani cooking. Massive fan of Pakistani cooking. Always have been.
Yeah,
I think the
so of
food
course,
is
like
just on that next
when you
level.
marry, like if my husband would be like inshallah one day, like I don't know where he will be from, but like if he's Moroccan or Palestinian or whatever, like I can't wait like to cook with his family, like to get to know the dishes, to
Absolutely.
know,
No,
like
I'm definitely the same.
everything,
I start quite a bit of beef when I say that Pakistani food's better than Bengali and Indian. It causes all causes storms amongst my
So I think
brothers and
that
sisters.
is why, like because we just want to know everything. Like
Alhamdulillah,
it's yeah,
definitely.
like it's nice and
Do you?
but yeah, I think that is why, and also like the praying and everything. Like they know how to do it, and like we know also, like it's not
It's
like we
nice to
don't
have a
know how to pray,
reinforcement
but
amongst the family. In fact, to have the support network around you.
yeah,
So my
exactly. Like
last question,
because
sister. Sorry, no, no,
now you do
no.
everything alone,
So
and
yeah,
then you want people to share that
I
with.
think the alone thing is something that bothers me more. I think there's a lot of that going on in the revert
Yeah,
community. It's something we need to combat as a community in general, as in the ummah needs to combat the amount of loneliness that reverts suffer in their first couple of years before they
unfortunately.
get married. Um, do you fear your future children going down the same haram path as you did before you reverted?
You cut off. I didn't hear the
Sorry, my
question,
apologies.
sorry.
Yeah. Do you fear your future children going down the same haram paths you did before you reverted?
Hmm, you know what? I try not to think about that because you know what? Like it's written already, so you there's nothing you can do about it. Like if that is what is supposed to happen, it will happen. If it's not, like alhamdulillah,
Mm,
like
mm,
and if my children do things that are not allowed, like you know what, Allah is merciful and hopefully they will get back on the right path, look at
absolutely.
me, like if you would have told me 20 years ago like you will be Muslim one day, I would laugh in your face,
Oh yeah,
so
me too. I had a very, very, very supportive point of view of Muslims when I was younger. I've never had a bad bone about them ever, and I didn't buy
oh,
Western media.
me neither, but
But
I would
if
never
someone
thought to
told
be
me,
one.
a Catholic missionary, that I was going to be Muslim, I would have laughed. I was very supportive of them, but no, that's not happening. And then, Alhamdulillah, just prior to 40, I converted to Islam. Wouldn't have
Yeah, it was the
suggested
same
it.
for me, like I always grew up like I always supported all of them, but I would never like I would always say like, whoa, I could never handle that, like, oh no, that's not for me, but
Mm,
look at me now, like and like I said, like if my children go astray, like inshallah will not happen. But
Yeah,
being the first sister, I would say.
eventually we managed to get my first, and I've paused other sisters to deliberately so that we could. I had yours
Aw.
lined up. It's just only because of timetabling, of course. But it was a pleasure having you on my live, and well, not live.
It was
It's
an
recorded,
honor.
but it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much for your time. Alhamdulillah.
I am a slave.